The image of a hooded figure typing rapidly to bypass a complex firewall is a common cinematic trope. However, a major Indian streaming giant lost 150 gigabytes of corporate secrets through something far simpler, a single misconfigured web link. This breach resulted in the exfiltration of the company's entire infrastructure and years of proprietary development data. To pull this off, the attackers didn't need to discover a zero-day exploit or bypass a firewall. They simply found a digital door that had been left unlocked. The streaming platform used Bitbucket, a version control system that acts as a collaborative, live document where developers write and store the code for every part of the business. The vulnerability is classified as A02-2025 Security Misconfiguration. It occurs when human error leaves a critical environment exposed to anyone with an internet connection. Securing the master blueprint of a company's infrastructure with an unauthenticated web link is the modern equivalent of leaving the front door to corporate headquarters standing wide open. This vulnerability was born from industrialized laziness, a failure to enforce private, authenticated access for employees working within the repository. Several internal codebases were accidentally set to public, making them visible to the open internet or accessible to anyone who found a leaked URL. A Korean-based hacking group identified this oversight. Rather than attempting a complex network intrusion, they followed the path of least resistance. Attackers use automated bots to constantly scan the internet, looking for any exposed link lacking a password. A scanner identified the streaming platform's exposed Bitbucket link. The bots instantly cloned the repository, pulling down the proprietary source code. The group captured 150 gigabytes of data without ever having to break in. Because they used a public link, the company's firewalls saw the traffic as legitimate and never triggered an alarm. Automation has removed the need for targeted skill. A single misconfigured link can now lead to a complete, undetected data hemorrhage in seconds. The loss of the code was only the first step. Inside those files, the hackers found evidence of a second failure: hard coding. Hard coding is like building an impenetrable bank vault, but writing the combination directly on the public architectural blueprints. The hackers performed a digital X-ray of the stolen code, extracting database credentials and AWS keys left in plain text. These harvested keys allowed the attackers to bypass external security entirely. They logged directly into the production databases and cloud environments, using the company's own administrative credentials. By linking their own emails to these accounts, the hackers established a ghost presence. This ensured they would keep their access to the system even if the original repository link was eventually closed. The stolen source code provided the specific administrative tokens and environmental variables needed to control the entire network, giving the attackers invisible authority over the platform's live infrastructure. The business fallout was immediate. Competitors gained access to proprietary algorithms, while other attackers were handed a roadmap to find deeper, systemic vulnerabilities. Because the breach exposed sensitive user KYC data, the company faced massive financial liabilities and regulatory penalties under the DPDP Act 2023 and the RBI IT framework. This case highlights a shift in modern cybersecurity. Identity and configuration have replaced the network firewall as the primary perimeter. High-end, military-grade encryption is useless if the configuration of the environment is weak. The most expensive locks in the world cannot protect a door that is left open. To prevent similar leaks, organizations must stop treating repositories as private by default and strictly prohibit the use of public links for internal code. Effective remediation requires moving credentials into dedicated secret management vaults, using signed, time-limited access tokens, and implementing continuous monitoring to detect leaked secrets in real time. In a landscape where bots scan the internet every second, if a piece of infrastructure is connected to the web, you must assume it is public until you prove it is secured.